Is this in the way? Should I put it somewhere else? Mike, should I put this somewhere else? Okay. Okay, sir, yes, sir. We got.
Ty, can you kind of take us through your emotions just as that final buzzer sounds and the ceremony's about to start?
It's a special feeling. To do it with this group. You know, we got to the same spot last year, fell short. And, man, we just worked our tails off as a group to get back here. It's been a bumpy road with our start. And, man, just really proud of the resilience of this group. We had so many different guys chip in. We've been through so many things this year. And we just kept pushing. And, like I said, I'm just really proud of this group.
I saw you and Pascal's long embrace down there. What was that like for you two?
Yeah, it's special, man. Obviously, when we brought him here, you know, we envisioned, you know, doing something like this, doing something special. And, you know, it's just really special that he's been here. He's been like a big brother for me, somebody that I can really trust, somebody that I can really lean on to talk to, and just somebody who can always keep me steady. And, you know, this is an exciting time, you know, but we understand that there's a long road ahead, you know, a lot more work to do. But, yeah, it's really special, you know, to do this. And we just talked about, man, this is what we got together to do, you know, to do something special. And we're part of it right now. We're doing something special. And like I said, we got 4 more to go.
Ty, when you were traded here, Kevin Pritchard came out before your first game and said this is like us landing our Andrew Luck or our Peyton Manning. To have this team now in the NBA Finals, what does it mean to go from that to this?
Yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot. You know, this is a franchise that took a chance on me, saw something that other people didn't see in me. You know, sometimes I think they saw more in me than I saw in myself, you know. And, you know, Coach Carlisle, the whole staff, you know, KP, Chad, all those guys just stay on me all the time, you know, to keep getting better, to keep improving, you know, to keep pushing. And, man, I wouldn't be here without those guys. So appreciate them taking a chance on me. I love being a Pacer. You know, it's there's nothing like it. And this is a really, really special feeling for me. You know, I'll take the time to reflect on it, you know, later because, you know, still a lot more work to do. But, you know, this is really exciting.
Ty, I know you live in the moment and look ahead, but history's important too. And to do it almost 25 years to the day than the last time, same team, Reggie, Jalen in the building and on the home court, how much special, even more special, does that make it?
Yeah, obviously Reggie in the building, it is a really special thing. When it happened 25 years ago, I was not even 6 months old. So, you know, I think this is a really special time for our organization, special time for our fans. You know, there's a lot of fans who, you know, have never seen the success from this organization, you know, especially people around my age, you know, they weren't alive for it. So, you know, it's really special what we're doing, and we're just trying to keep making this a special place, a place where people want to, you know, come and people want to watch and want to be a part of. And, you know, this is a really, really special group, and I'm really thankful that I'm doing it with these guys. I'm thankful that our front office believed in this group to keep us together, to not do a crazy roster turnover, to keep this group together and, you know, see something in ourselves that maybe, quote unquote, experts didn't see. So yeah, it's really special, but, you know, we understand we got a long road ahead. But yeah, like I said, it's just a special feeling.
In tonight's game, Obi Toppin off the bench, and I had 3 blocks, 18 points. What did you think of his play, and how impactful were those big plays that he had?
He had 3 blocks? Wow. Yeah, trying to get like me. We always mess with him because, you know, he's got all that athleticism, but just doesn't use it on the defensive end sometimes. But nah, Obi was big for us off the bench. You know, obviously this series, playing against his team, is probably a little bit more juice for him, considering this is where, you know, he came from. But, man, he was special tonight, just did all the little things that we need him to do, made play after play, especially down the stretch, cutting, rolling. You know, that's why we brought him here. So, really special. And we understand we've preached depth this whole year. You know, we keep talking about it. And it's not just a word we use, you know, for fun. You know, this is our identity and this is who we are. And so I thought we did a great job of utilizing that we had many different people step up. I thought Jarris Walker was amazing. You know, the guy like that who, you know, his minutes have come here and there in this series. He hasn't really seen a ton of playing time. And he came and was prepared to go. And I thought he had big-time minutes. And Thomas Bryant, you know, he's had a couple games where he, you know, a couple DNPs, came prepared and made some big-time shots and big-time plays. So that's just what's important to us. We've been preaching, you know, how special we are as a group and how much depth matters, and we're showing it. So, like I said, man, it's just really special.
I know we went to Game 6, but I guess can you talk about what it meant to be here in Gainbridge Fieldhouse with Pacers fans celebrating this moment and a moment in history for Pacers?
Yeah, I think as a group, you know, we really did want to get it done in the Garden last game, but I thought we just didn't come out and play the right way. But I looked at it as kind of like delayed gratification, you know. You look at it and understand we didn't come to play in Game 5. I don't know where Doyle is, but, you know, we just didn't play hard enough, you know, and that happens. I know that was a question, but we just didn't play hard enough. You know? And I thought we did a great job responding. I thought we did a great job of controlling the margins and winning that battle. So like I said, I'm just really proud of, you know, of this group. And it is special to do it in front of our fans, in front of our family, and enjoy it with them. And, yeah, it's definitely you know, probably be a core memory in our lives, but I think there's, you know, a lot more work to do, and, you know, let's just keep creating memories.
Kind of on that note, 10 steals, 18 turnovers, 34 points off turnovers. Just how important was defense tonight? I guess, what does it say, I guess, for just the progress you guys have made over the course of really the last year and a half to get to this point, and it's defense to kind of get you in there in the NBA Finals?
Yeah, I just think the buy-in from our whole group has been huge. You know, last year, all that was being said was we couldn't win because we don't guard anybody. And all we try to do is outscore people. And I think we've taken such a big step on the defensive end as a group. You know, I think Andrew, Aaron, and Miles kind of lead that, you know, and me and Pete do, you know, are, you know, trying to follow their lead and get it going on that side of the ball. And then our bench guys just come in and bring more energy. So, you know, I think the step we've made on that side of the floor is why we're here. And, you know, we got our work cut out for us, you know, playing against the MVP, playing against one of the best offenses in the league, the best team in the league. So we got to be prepared next series. But I think our buy-in as a group has been huge, and, you know, I'm just really proud of our group.
Yeah, Ty, I wanted to ask, like, in the whirlwind of your first finals celebration, do you think at all about the Thunder, or are you too much now, like, oh my God, we made the finals?
Yeah. You know, I think human nature, when you see them win, you know, it's easy to watch them win and be like, okay, so we're going to play next. You know, we just got to win one more game. And I think that's the human nature part of it. But I think we talked as a group about just being as present as possible, because this game very well could have went a different way. And then, you know, all the pressure would be on us to go win there in Game 7. Just trying to be as present as possible as a group. And I think there was never a conversation about, we play OKC next, and what is it going to look like, and blah, blah, blah. There was never that conversation, but I think human nature is going to creep in. You know, you're going to think about it. But I thought we did a great job of living in the moment today, making the plays we needed to today. And, yeah, I'd be lying if I told you right now my head's not thinking about what's next and, you know, how we're going to attack these guys and, you know, compete against these guys and what we're getting into. But I just trying to be as present as possible, because like I said, this is going to be something that I remember, you know, for the rest of my life. And so I want to be as present as I can, and I will. But you know, of course, I'm thinking about what's next, because you know, we got to work cut out for us.
I want to think about kind of what came before really quick. Just, you know, considering the rough start you guys had, you're under 500 in January even. Just what did it take for this group to make a run to the finals?
I think many things. I think honesty with each other, you know, having to look at ourselves in the mirror and see where we had to make our biggest change. Commitment to one another to do that. You know, we had, you know, two guys go down, both our backup bigs go down early in the year with torn Achilles. You know, Double A and Drew go through some early season injuries. We're, you know, starting different guys. Many different guys are playing. I thought we just did a great job of staying together as a group and not worrying about outside noise. You know, internally, we had expectations to be here, and this isn't a surprise to any of us because of what we wanted to do. And I think, obviously there's a turning point there in December or January or whatever the case may be. But I just thought we did a great job of, like I mentioned earlier, just being as present as possible, not living in the past, not worrying about what's next, just worrying about what's now. And I thought we did a great job of that as a group. And, I think we all went through different things this year. Obviously, me personally, I had my struggles. Many guys had their struggles. But I think as a group, we just leaned on each other. And that's the most special part about this group. These guys in the locker room are, going to be my brothers for life, and, what they've done for me, I can't even, really put into words because, where I was earlier in the year was really, really tough for me. And, I'm just really appreciative of those guys, appreciative of this moment and the fans and everybody sticking with me and my family and my loved ones. And, I think there's a lot that went into it, and it's hard to really put into words like in this moment. But yeah, it's a special time to be a part of this group. It's a special time to be a Pacer fan and to be a part of this organization. And we just have great people in that locker room, from our players to our coaches to our support staff to our ball boys to everybody. To everybody that is a part of this. So it's a really special feeling. And I could ramble and ramble and ramble, and I probably am right now. But I just think I can't put into words how special this group is and how much this means to us. So, like I said, we're gonna enjoy it for the night, and then as a group come together and get ready for what's in front of us. Because what's in front of us is the first of four, and we understand we got a big challenge in front of us, a great team, and we're gonna be prepared, and we're gonna be ready. So, I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate it, guys.
Well, a couple of thoughts. First, very difficult series. Game one, what happened in game one was very fluky, and it put us in position to lead the series at the beginning. That was a real key to it. And this group has been special, pulling off some very special things, and so we don't take it for granted at all. The Knicks were an unreal opponent, tough-minded, always coming at you. After the game, they showed great class with all the interactions that I had with all those guys. I mentioned the job that Tibbs has done there. He's turned the culture completely. Flip from what it was, and so to be able to win the series the way we did today at home in front of our fans is huge. You never want to go back on the road in Game 7, and so we're grateful. We're grateful for a lot of things today. Our guys just decided that it was going to be our kind of game. It was going to be a fast game, and we kept speed in the game, and they kept coming. And, we get up 15, and then all of a sudden there's a turnover, a turned ankle, and then it's 9, and it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But two resilient teams, and we were able to be resilient once again tonight. So, once again, very, very grateful. Congratulations to Pascal. So deserving. Guy's been a rock of consistency all year, and a lot of guys contributed to this game. Thomas Bryant, you talk about a guy that has a great spirit and stays ready. I mean, his threes and his block shots and his rebounds and his running, it was all pivotal stuff. So anyway, questions?
Rick, how did you find yourself feeling or find the balance of emotions when the final buzzer sounds between this being a big deal accomplishment, happiness, and knowing you guys still have a final series ahead of you?
Well, this is the 6th time that I've been to an NBA Finals, 3 as a player, 1 as an assistant coach, 2nd time as a head coach. This is no time to be popping champagne. And when you get to this point of the season, it's 2 teams and it's one goal, and so it becomes an all or nothing thing. And we understand the magnitude of the opponent. Oklahoma City has been dominant all year long with capital letters in the word dominant. Defensively, they're, historically great. And they got all kinds of guys that can score. It's two teams that have similar structures, slightly different styles, but Oklahoma's playing faster this year. And so I think it has the makings of a great series. To me, it's from a coaching perspective, it's two teams that are fun to watch and fun to watch compete. So, we're looking forward to the challenge, and they have the MVP, and so that's always an important thing.
You just talked about keeping speed and pace in the game. Obviously, the big way you did that is creating a bunch of turnovers. I think 18, and you turned those into 34. I guess, just considering the total arc of this rebuilding project, what all you had to do to get the defense to be where it is. I guess how sort of, I don't know if it's rewarding or what even to say about it, but it's the defense that drives the train in this one and puts you guys in position to play the game the way you want to play.
Yeah, I mean, we just can't celebrate too much. It's, you ask a question like we've accomplished something, and getting to the NBA Finals is an accomplishment. But if you start looking at it that way, you'll go into it with the wrong mindset. Our defense is something we've been working on steadfastly for over a year and a half. I mean, really, the year started last year with really a different set of rules. We were playing small and even faster. It wasn't a team that had great defenders, but we've gotten better defenders. We've gotten bigger. We got Pascal, and the guys co-signed on the importance of defense, and everybody has participated in the growth. And, Oklahoma will present some very tough challenges defensively for us.
Drew had 6 of those steals. It seems like he flipped him over to Brunson pretty early. What made you decide to go with that matchup, and just what you got from him all around today, but especially as far as creating turnovers?
Yeah, I just had a strong belief that he was going to have a big game today or tonight. It feels like a day. I don't know why, but it's almost midnight. And the other thing is getting him on Brunson created a natural cross match to keep OG off of him. And OG is, he's like the silent killer on their team. I mean, he's very hard to score on. He's a guy that doesn't get enough credit as a scorer. And, after timeouts, they were going to him almost every time. He's scoring almost every time. And defensively, he's a beast. And so, Drew really took the challenge. Aaron had fouls really from the beginning of the game. And when he got his first, it made the switch a naturally easy decision.
What do you know about Jarris Walker at this point? I just saw him on crutches.
It's an ankle. He's on crutches. So, we'll see. He's young. That's good. And I did not see a replay of the play, so I don't know how far it turned over, how much weight. But when a guy goes down and stays down like that, you're always holding your breath.
Hey, Rick. Been around you guys now since the start of the Cleveland series, and I don't recall you addressing this. But you guys were 10-15 in December, and now you're here. And I know you don't want to talk about this as an accomplishment yet because you have more work to do. But when did you start to realize that this was possible?
Well, we were 10-15, and Nembhard missed 15 games, and we were 5-10 in those games. And so you saw the impact of Nembhard tonight. And so we didn't have Nembhard. We didn't have Neesmith. We lost Shepard for a good stretch there. And there were some games where we were starting two-way players. Quentin Jackson got some starts, actually played very well for us. Enrique Freeman started one or two games. Johnny Furphy was in the rotation, and Furphy's going to be a good rotation player for the Pacers. But these guys are very young. And so, we're a team that is an ecosystem. We're very dependent on the collective ingredients for the whole team to function at its best. And, when we're without guys that don't appear to be stars, but they're important in support roles for the stars, then you struggle. And then we had a B schedule because of that Paris trip. We had all the tough games early, excuse me, we had compressed schedule, and it was a confluence of difficult forces. Is there a water, Mike? Water? What else?
Yeah, Rick, when you look at what Thomas Bryant did tonight, does that sort of typify? I mean, he was, he came in because Bradley was hurt, I assume. But does that sort of typify what this team has become about?
It does. And look, Thomas has an indomitable spirit as a person and a player. Even when he's not in the rotation, he's over there in a defensive stance on the sidelines. He is into it. And he is ready. He is ready. And, he's had a flair. He's had a flair for these moments. He had a big game in Game 5 of the Cleveland series at Cleveland. He had a steal for a dunk. He had a putback. He made a big three in the corner. The threes that he made today were enormously important and very timely. And so staying ready. Jarris Walker, staying ready. I mean, he was one of the bright spots of the Game 5 debacle. He went in there, he was actually a plus in the game and hit a couple shots and did good things. And so, look, we played, 11 or 12 guys. And, Bradley was available, but was unable to really extend and run full court, full speed. And so it just seemed to me that it just didn't make sense. And so, Thomas got right in there, got a block, and made some good things happen, hit some free throws, and, he was key.
What do you remember about some of the conversations in 21 when you guys embarked on this rebuild? And how surprised are you that it's come so fast?
Well, if you have the right player to build around, it can happen much faster than you think. And so getting Tyrese made it very clear what our identity as a team needed to be. We needed to be a fast-paced team with shooting. And we had some good shooting at the time. But, when we did the Brogdon trade, that brought Neesmith on board. Nembhard was a developing player. Mathurin shoots the ball well. Walker shoots the ball well. And Shepard is a guy that is a great runner and a great shooter. And then look, the Siakam trade took things to another level. And it took Pascal, a couple of weeks to get integrated because, they weren't playing this fast in Toronto. But he did, and he got integrated while Tyrese was coming back from the hamstring last year. And, there were some clunky moments. And we were on the West Coast at the time. And so, but, we got it together down the stretch, and we won our last game of the season to avoid the play-in. And we're able to go on a run, and certainly we were aided by the fact that there were some missing players with other teams, but you still got to win the games. You still got to go into Madison Square Garden and win Game 7, and on the road. And those guys did that, and we had a humbling experience against Boston, but we learned some things, and those things have helped us this year.